When installing 12-volt submersible fixtures in a fountain, using electrical polyvinyl chloride, or PVC, for piping is a suitable choice, given its resistance to both chemicals and moisture. Firstly, select a pipe diameter sufficient to accommodate the electrical cord while providing adequate space for future maintenance. Secondly, sealing the pipe end at the point where it exits the back of the fountain is highly recommended. This can be achieved through one of three methods. 1. Using a rubber grommet that fits tightly around the pipe. 2. Applying silicone sealant liberally around the pipe and allowing it to fully cure. 3. Utilizing marine-grade epoxy putty. To further prevent water ingress, consider these additional measures. 1. Use waterproof electrical connectors at each light fixture. 2. Run the piping as straight as possible to avoid sharp bends, which can create stress points and potential leak areas. 3. Secure the pipes to the fountain wall using pipe clamps or straps to prevent movement and minimize the risk of leaks. Prioritize electrical safety by ensuring all electrical connections are properly watertight. Use a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, to protect the circuit. Importantly, do not connect the lights directly to a 120 volts power source. Always use a transformer to convert the voltage to 12 volts. When it comes to relamping, simply remove the head from the base plate and replace the bulb. Be certain that the electrical cord is safely secured before reinstalling the head. Let's delve deeper into the selection of electrical PVC. Ensure it is listed for direct burial if any portion of the conduit run will be buried in the ground before entering the fountain structure. Schedule 40 PVC is generally sufficient for this application, but Schedule 80 PVC offers greater physical protection. Consider using expansion couplings if the PVC run is long or exposed to significant temperature fluctuations, as PVC expands and contracts with temperature changes. When sealing the pipe end, proper surface preparation is crucial. Clean the PVC pipe with a PVC cleaner and primer before applying any sealant or adhesive. This will ensure a strong and watertight bond. For silicone sealant, choose a 100% silicone sealant that is specifically designed for wet or underwater applications. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for application and curing time. When using marine-grade epoxy putty, mix the epoxy according to the manufacturer's instructions and apply it generously around the pipe, ensuring it adheres well to both the PVC and the fountain structure. Smooth the epoxy putty to create a neat and watertight seal. The use of waterproof electrical connectors is paramount for preventing water from entering the electrical system. Look for connectors that are specifically rated for submersible applications and that provide a watertight seal around the electrical wires. Consider using heat shrink tubing with adhesive to further protect the connections from moisture. Running the piping as straight as possible minimizes the number of joints and connections, reducing the potential for leaks. If bends are necessary, use sweeping bends rather than sharp 90-degree bends to reduce stress on the pipe. Secure the pipes to the fountain wall at regular intervals using pipe clamps or straps made of corrosion-resistant materials such as stainless steel or plastic. This will prevent the pipes from moving or vibrating, which could weaken the joints and lead to leaks. Ensure that the clamps or straps are properly sized for the pipe diameter and that they are securely fastened to the fountain wall. Always use a ground fault circuit interrupter to protect the electrical circuit. A GFCI will detect any leakage current to ground and quickly shut off the power, preventing electrical shock. Install the GFCI in a readily accessible location where it can be easily tested and reset. The transformer should be sized appropriately for the total wattage of all the lights. Choose a transformer that is specifically designed for outdoor and wet locations. Mount the transformer in a well-ventilated area to prevent overheating. When relamping, disconnect the power to the circuit before removing the head from the base plate. Inspect the electrical cord for any signs of damage or wear and tear. If the cord is damaged, replace it before reinstalling the head. Ensure that the replacement bulb is of the correct type and wattage for the fixture. Tighten all screws and connections securely to prevent water from entering the fixture. Always test the lights after relamping to ensure that they are working properly. Consider adding a low water cut-off switch to the fountain to protect the pump from running dry. This switch will automatically shut off the pump if the water level drops below a certain point. Regularly inspect the fountain and the electrical system for any signs of damage or wear and tear. Address any problems promptly to prevent them from escalating. Clean the fountain regularly to remove any debris or algae that could clog the pipes or damage the lights. By following these guidelines, it is possible to safely and effectively install submersible fountain lights and enjoy the beauty and ambience that they bring to any outdoor space. Always consult with a qualified electrician if there are any questions or concerns about the electrical installation. In accordance with the 2017 National Electrical Code, several articles are applicable to this installation. Article 680(26) covers equipotential bonding of metal parts within the fountain to minimize voltage gradients in the water. This is crucial for safety. All metal parts, including the reinforcing steel and the metal base plates of the lights, and any metal piping, should be bonded together using a solid copper conductor not smaller than number 8 American wire gauge. This bonding conductor should be connected to a common bonding grid. Article 680.27 addresses the use of ground fault circuit interrupters. GFCI protection is required for all electrical circuits serving the fountain, including the lighting circuit. The GFCI should be installed in a readily accessible location and should be tested monthly to ensure that it is functioning properly. Article 680.42 specifies the requirements for underwater luminaires, which are the submersible lights. The luminaires must be listed for underwater use and must be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. The luminaires must be supplied by a 12-volt power source through a transformer that complies with Article 680.23 paragraph A. The transformer must be located outside the fountain and must be protected from the weather. Article 680.51 paragraph P provides additional requirements for low-voltage lighting systems. The low-voltage cable must be listed for direct burial and must be installed in a conduit or other approved raceway. The cable must be protected from physical damage and must be supported at intervals not exceeding 3 feet. Article 300.5 outlines the requirements for underground installations. The electrical PVC conduit must be buried at a depth of at least 18 inches. The conduit must be supported and secured in place to prevent movement. Backfill the trench with soil that is free of sharp rocks or debris that could damage the conduit. Consider using warning tape to mark the location of the underground conduit. Table 300.5 provides minimum cover requirements for various wiring methods and voltages. For rigid metal conduit, or RMC, and intermediate metal conduit, or INC, a minimum cover of 6 inches is required. For electrical metallic tubing, or IM, a minimum cover of 18 inches is required. For direct burial cables, a minimum cover of 24 inches is required. These are general guidelines, and it is essential to consult the local electrical codes and regulations for specific requirements in the area. Remember that proper planning and execution are key to a successful and safe fountain lighting installation. Using electrical PVC conduit offers a durable and protective pathway for the wiring, ensuring the longevity and safety of the system. Firstly, using the correct size of electrical PVC is important. For example, if using 12 American wire gauge wire, with the associated insulation and the number of conductors, the conduit body must be appropriately sized, or the next larger trade size per NEC Chapter 9, Table 1 and Note 1. Secondly, when making conduit runs, pull strings or fish tapes are used to aid in pulling the wires through the conduit. Thirdly, consider using expansion couplings when there are long runs of PVC conduit to account for thermal expansion and contraction. Also, ensure the conduit is adequately supported. Fourthly, use appropriate fittings and connectors that are rated for wet locations to maintain a watertight seal and prevent water from entering the electrical system. Fifthly, seal the ends of the conduit to prevent water from entering. Sixthly, inspect the conduit and wiring regularly for any signs of damage or wear, and repair or replace as needed. Do not use damaged conduit. The type of wiring inside the conduit is important. Firstly, THWN or THHM wire are suitable for wet locations and are appropriate to be used within the PVC conduit underground, feeding the light fixtures. Secondly, the size of the wire needs to be appropriately sized to handle the current draw of the lights. Consider using a wire size calculator to ensure the wire is properly sized. A 2017 NEC Article 310.15 and associated tables determine opacities. Thirdly, use only listed and labeled wire for the application. Fourthly, protect the wiring from physical damage by using proper installation techniques and ensuring the conduit is buried at the correct depth. In addition to the safety ground in the electrical system, supplemental grounding may be beneficial within the fountain structure itself. Firstly, bonding all metal parts of the fountain structure together with a solid copper conductor helps to create an equipotential plane, reducing the risk of electric shock. Secondly, connect the bonding conductor to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a grounding plate, to provide a path for fault current to return to the source. Thirdly, test the grounding system regularly to ensure that it is functioning properly. Electrical safety is paramount when dealing with underwater lighting. Firstly, always disconnect power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Secondly, use a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, to protect the circuit and prevent electric shock. Thirdly, ensure all electrical connections are properly watertight to prevent water from entering the electrical system. Fourthly, do not overload the circuit with too many lights. Fifthly, inspect the electrical system regularly for any signs of damage or wear, and repair or replace as needed. Remember that working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician if there are any questions or concerns. When selecting a transformer for underwater lighting, consider the following factors. 1. A transformer must be rated for outdoor use and must be protected from the weather. 2. The transformer must be sized appropriately for the total wattage of all the lights. 3. The transformer must comply with Article 680.23 paragraph of the National Electrical Code. 4. The transformer must be located outside the fountain. 5. The transformer must be installed in a well-ventilated area to prevent overheating. In summary, the proper installation of submersible fountain lights requires careful planning and execution. By following the guidelines outlined in this narration and consulting with a qualified electrician, one can safely and effectively install underwater lighting and enjoy the beauty and ambience that they bring to any outdoor space. Remember to always prioritize electrical safety and to comply with all applicable codes and regulations.